Unit 3, the cellular concept, part 5. So first is radio propagation. So first is radio propagation. The radio propagation models are derived using a combination of empirical and analytical methods. These methods implicitly take into account all the propagation factors, both known and unknown, through the actual measurement. So the radio waves are also called as So, their propagation mechanism consists of the reflection, diffraction, and scattering. Radio propagation effect, it consists of signal strength and fading. Now, signal strength, it must be the strong enough between a base station and mobile unit to maintain a signal quality at the receiver. It must not be so strong so as to create too much co-channel interference with a channels in another cell using the same frequency band. Now next is the fading. The signal propagation effect may disrupt the signal and cause the errors. So this diagram shows the transmitter and receiver, the diffracted signal, the reflected signal, and the direct signal. Now in free space propagation, the received signal power at the distance t is PR is equal to A is GT PT divided by 4 pi d square. Now PT is the transmitting power, A is the effective area, and GT is the transmitting antenna gain. Assuming that the radiated power is uniformly distributed over the surface of the sphere. So propagation mechanism have an impact on the wave propagation in mobile communication system. The most important parameter, that is the received power, is predicted by a large scale propagation models based on the physics of reflection, diffraction, and scattering. So fading, So the fading means selective fading causes a cloudy pattern to appear on the FFT display. The fading or fading channel refers to a mathematical model for the distortion that a carrier modulated telecommunication signal experiences over certain propagation media. Short term fading, also known as a multipath induced fading, and it is due to a multipath propagation. The fading results from the superposition of transmitted signal that have experienced differences in attenuation, delay, and phase shift while traveling from the source to the receiver. It may also be caused by the attenuation of a single signal. The most common type of fading, known as a slow fading, fast fading, as they apply to a mobile radio environment. So fading refers to the time variation of the received signal, power caused by the changes in the transmission medium or a path. Small scale fading or simply fading is used to describe the rapid fluctuations of the amplitude, a phasor or the multipath delay of radio signal over a short period of time or the travel distance, so that the large scale path loss effect may be ignored. The fading is caused by the interference between two or more versions of the transmitted signal which arise at the receiver at slightly different times. So these waves, called multipath waves, combine at the receiver antenna to give a resultant signal, which can vary widely in amplitude and phase depending on the distribution of the intensity and relative propagation time of the waves and the bandwidth of the transmitted signal. So for example, consider the common experience of stopping at a traffic light and hearing a lot of static. So we will leave this example. Now the fading in wireless communication. In wireless communication, the signal fading is caused by the multipath effect. So multipath effect means that a signal transmitted from a transmitter may have a multipath copies traversing different path to reach a receiver. At the receiver, the received signal should be the sum of all these multipath signals, because the path traversed by these signals are different. Some are longer and some are shorter. The one at the direction of the light of the signal should be the shortest. These signals interact with each other. If the signals are in phase, they would intensity the resultant signal, otherwise the resultant signal is weakened due to out of phase. This phenomenon is called as channel fading. Next is small scale multipath propagation. We will see the slow fading. The long term variation in the mean level is known as the slow fading, and this fading is caused by the shadowing. The log normal distribution, the PDF of the received signal level is given by the decibel, is given by this equation, where capital M is the true received signal level, M in decibel, and it is the area average signal level. Sigma is the standard derivation in decibel. Now, the factors which influence the small scale, before that we will see the small scale fading. So small scale fading is the multipath in the radio channel creates a small scale fading. The three most important effects are rapid changes in the signal strength over a small travel distance or time interval, random frequency distribution due to varying Doppler shift on different multipath signal, time dispersion or the echoes caused by the multipath propagation delay. So many physical factors in the radio propagation channel influence the small scale fading. So this consists of multipath propagation. First is the multipath propagation, in that the presence of reflecting object and the scatters in the channel creates a constantly changing environment that dissipates the signal energy in amplitude, phase and time. These effects results in multiple versions of the transmitted signal that arrive at the receiving antenna, displaced with respect to one another in time and spatial orientation. The random phase and amplitude of the different multipath components caused fluctuation in signal strength, thereby inducing a small state fading, signal distortion, or both. Multipath propagation often multipath propagation often lengthens the time required for the baseband portion of the signal to reach the receiver, which can cause a signal smearing due to intersimple interference. So next is the speed of the mobile. The reactive motion between the base station and the mobile results in the random frequency modulation due to different Doppler shifts on each of the multipath components. Doppler shift will be positive or negative depending on whether the mobile receiver is moving towards or away from the base station. Next is the speed of surrounding objects. If the objects in the radio channel are in motion, then they are induced a time varying Doppler shift on multipath components. If the surrounding objects move at a greater rate than the mobile, then this effect dominates the small scale fading. Otherwise, motion of the surrounding object may be ignored and only the speed of the mobile need be considered. The coherence time defines the staticness of the channel and is directly impacted by the Doppler shift. The transmission bandwidth of the signal. If the transmitted radio signal bandwidth is greater than the bandwidth of the multipath channel, then the received signal will be distorted, but the received signal strength will not fade much over a local areas. The bandwidth of the channel can be quantified by the coherence bandwidth, which is related to the specific multipath structure of the channel. The coherence bandwidth is a measure of the maximum frequency difference for which signals are still strongly correlated in amplitude. If the transmitted signal has a narrow bandwidth as compared to the channel, the amplitude of the signal change rapidly, but the signal will not be distorted in time. So small scale fading is divided into two types, that is flat fading and frequency selective. It is based on the multipath time delay, and small scale fading depending on the Doppler speed it is divided into fast fading. It has again three, that is high Doppler, coherence time and channel variations, and in slow fading it has low Doppler, coherence time and channel variation slower than the baseband signal variation. So in flat fading, here is the bandwidth of the signal is less than the coherence bandwidth of the channel, or the delay spread is less than the symbol period. In frequency selective fading, the bandwidth of the signal is greater than the coherence bandwidth of the channel, or the delay spread is greater than the symbol period. Next is the fading effect due to the Doppler speed. So due to the Doppler effect, if transmitter is moving away from a receiver, the frequency of the received signal is lower than the one sent out from the transmitter, otherwise the frequency is increased. In wireless communication, there are many factors that can cause a relative movement between a transmitter and a receiver. It can be the movement of mobiles such as cell phone. It can be the movement of some background objective which cause the change the path length between the transmitter and the receiver. So fast fading is the kind of the fading occurring with a small movement of the mobile or obstacles. So free space propagation, here the received signal equation is given, received signal power equation is given here. Next is the propagation mechanism. So basically there are three propagation mechanism. They have an impact on the wave propagation in the mobile communication system. The most important parameter, the received power, is predicted by the large scale propagation models based on the physics of reflection, diffraction and scattering. So reflection means the propagating wave impinges on object which is large as compared to the wavelength, for example the surface of the earth, buildings, wall, etc. Diffraction means the radio path between the transmitter and receiver obstructed by the surface and sharp irregular edges. The waves bend around the obstacle even when LOS, that is line of sight, does not exist. And scattering means here objects smaller than the wavelength of the propagation wave, for example streets and lamp posts. So basically there are three basic operation or mechanism: propagation mechanism, reflection, so it occurs when signal is transmitted and some of the signal power may be reflected back to its origin rather than being carried all the way. Next is diffraction. It means the apparent bending of the waves around a small obstacle and spreading out of waves past small openings. And the third is scattering. It is a general physical process where light, sound, or moving particles are forced to deviate from a straight trajectory by one or more localized non-uniformities in the medium through which they pass. So this is the diagram which shows the sketch of three important propagation mechanism, that is reflection, scattering and diffraction. So first is reflection. So reflection is when a radio waves propagation when radio wave propagating in one medium impinges upon another medium having a different electrical properties, the wave is partially reflected and partially transmitted. So Fresnel reflection coefficient, it gives the relation between the electric field intensity of the reflected and transmitted wave to the incident wave in the medium of origin, and the reflection coefficient is the function of the material properties depending on the first is wave propagation, that is the direction of a vibration propagation or orientation, angle of incidence, and the frequency of a propagating wave. So next is ground reflection or two-ray model. In the mobile radio channel, a single direct path between the base station and mobile is rarely the only physical path for the propagation. Hence, the free space propagation model is in most cases is inaccurate when used alone. The two-ray GRM is based on geometric optics. It considers both direct path and ground reflected propagation path between transmitter and receiver. This was found reasonably accurate for predicting large scale and signal strength over distances of several kilometers for mobile radio system using tall tower. The height is above the 50 meter, and also for LOS microcell channels in urban environment. Next is the diffraction. That is phenomenon. The radio signal can propagate around the curved surface of the earth, beyond the horizon and behind the obstructions. Although the received field strength decreases rapidly as receiver moves deeper into the obstructed region, the diffraction field still exists and often has sufficient strength to produce a useful signal. The field strength of the diffracted wave in shadowed region is the vector sum of the electric field components of all the secondary wavelength in the space around the obstacles. So the diffraction refers to the deviation of light from the rectilinear propagation. It is a general characteristic of wave phenomenon occurring whenever a portion of wavefront is obstructed in some way. There is no significant distinction between the interference and diffraction. It is customary to speak of interference when considering the superposition of only a few waves and diffraction when treating a large number of waves. The classical wave theory, with its simple and effective formalism, will be more than sufficient to describe the diffraction. So, the phenomenon for the diffraction is radio signal can propagate around the curved surface of the earth, beyond the horizon and behind the obstruction. Although the received field strength decreases rapidly as receiver moves deeper into the obstructed region, the diffraction field exists and often has sufficient strength to produce a useful signal. The field strength of the diffracted wave in the shadowed region is the vector sum of the electric field component of all the secondary wavelets in the space around the obstacles. So the diffraction are due to when the signal hits the edge surfaces, preferably sharp edges. The diffraction allows the signal to propagate around the curved surface of the earth and to propagate behind the obstructions. So, knife edge diffraction model. It is essential to estimate the signal attenuation caused by a diffraction of radio waves over hills and buildings in predicting the field strength in the given service area. In practice, the prediction for the diffraction loss is the process of theoretical approximation modified by a necessary empirical correction. The simplest case shadowing is caused by a single object such as hill or mountain. The path loss due to a diffraction is knife edge model is controlled by the Fresnel diffraction parameter, which measure how deep the receiver is within the shadowed region. A negative value for the parameter shows that the obstruction is below the line of sight, and if the value is below, then there is hardly any loss. A value of 0 means the transmitter, receiver and tip of the obstruction are all in a line and the electric field strength is reduced by half, or the power is reduced to 1/4 of the value without the obstruction. As the value of diffraction parameter increases on the positive side of the path loss rapidly increases, reaching a value of 27 dB for parameter value of 5. So this diagram shows the diffraction geometry, knife edge diffraction geometry. Now the point is T, it denotes the transmitter and R denotes the receiver. with no infinite knife edge obstruction blocking the line of sight path. Next is multiple knife edge diffraction. In the practical situation, especially in hilly terrain, the propagation path may consist of more than one obstruction. Optimistic solution: the series of the obstacles are replaced by a single equivalent obstacle so that the path loss can be obtained using a single knife edge diffraction model. So multiple knife edge diffraction. The optimistic solution, the series of the obstacle are replaced by a single equivalent obstacle so that the path loss can be obtained using a single knife edge diffraction model. Thank you.